good? All right. It's 7 o'clock and we will call this regular council meeting to order. All right. Thank you for being here, gentlemen. We have all council present. And we'd like to recognize visitors.
Ann and Jerry Fillion.
Thank you for coming in. All right, if we can, pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And you're up. Public comments.
Comment. My name is Jerry Fillion. Everybody knows me.
We watched these young men.
I've been here
grow.
since 1965. I've been a homeowner since 1976. And I've got a comment, getting phone calls about these damn cars and stuff parked in front of my house. And I think I've got 4 people that I know of are going to start dropping their garbage in front of our place or their next door neighbors. And I want to know what the hell we're going to do about it. And it's not up to me to do it. It's up to you guys to get this place cleaned up.
So,
I'm getting tired of it. I'm 90 years old.
okay.
I can't do it myself.
No, it's us. It's us.
Well-
You're not alone. I hear it from these guys regularly as well. So,
Well, we've been putting it up for over a year about getting stuff cleaned up, and there's nothing been done except that one little car across the street that doesn't bother anybody.
yeah.
And now we're gonna do something about it. I can't do nothing about it. But I got people from Odessa, Pittsfield, and Davenport that drive through here and thinks this is a piece of junk in this damn town. So we gotta do something about it.
There are plans in process.
Okay, I've had all I got to say about it.
Okay.
Well, they
Yeah.
call it, our friends all say they feel sorry we live next to the used car lot.
I feel sorry.
And well, it looks like heck, guys. Now, we try to keep our yard up, and look, they don't care. They got nothing to lose. But a year ago, when you sent out the things, you're gonna start doing all these things and making the cars park the right way and all this. We got one, the truck across the street got moved finally, but I mean, it's horrible, you guys.
Yeah.
11
Yeah.
o'clock at night, we have to listen to these motorcycles.
Yes.
I mean, it's
Saturdays, weekends are
party time.
party time, either down this damn start of the town or down at our end of the town.
But it looks horrible, and you guys need to make the rules.
Yeah, well, the rules are there. I have had a couple of conversations with the sheriff's office, and right now, currently, unfortunately, he's out of town, but I've been playing phone tag with the undersheriff.
And one of the deputies in the sheriff's department is a friend of these people here.
Are the people that live by you?
Pittman's,
Okay.
well,
They're brothers that live there, and
the two brothers, they rent.
13 people live in those 2 houses.
We have over 10 cars parked in there.
Oh, yeah, at
Yeah.
least.
Well, those two that are parked next to us have been there for years. I mean,
Well, the problem we have, there's an ordinance, I know it goes way back.
right,
So many, and it pertains to all the town.
right.
On city, that would be technically some city property there, I believe.
Well, isn't
Out
it
front
from
where
the
they park?
sidewalk? We
Yeah.
don't own on the other side of the sidewalk.
But between that, and where they're parking, and the ordinance addresses how many vehicles each resident
Ha.
can have,
Yeah,
or parking.
yeah.
But we have an enforcement problem right now.
Well,
We-
we've had a problem for a while, but nothing's getting done.
Yeah.
I know you can't get it overnight, I worked with the government enough, but you make rules and I have to follow them, but they don't.
Right.
This is something we've been discussing
Oh, yeah,
almost every meeting.
I'm sure, I'm
And
sure.
We can't just jump and go. We have to follow the ordinances. We have to modify the ordinances to where they apply to that.
Well, are the ordinances up to date now so that everything is covered?
We're working on it.
Pretty much. The problem we had,
The nuisance ordinance
we had, yes.
went a long ways.
We had that, we worked, what was that, 4 years ago, Stephen?
Yeah.
And we had Andy Mankey from Reardon, he was a police chief up there. And it was new to us, we thought an ordinance was the law, I mean,
Right.
it was everything.
Right.
But apparently, we found out, it had to be codified with the state and in sector to where you could write a ticket
Got it.
and all that. And then we had, I believe we had an issue, once we went to all that work, and had the lawyer look at it, the attorney, and then the prosecuting attorney at the time, we ran into problems with the court as far as
Right,
enforcement.
right, yeah, I realize this.
Well, yeah, you work in the courthouse, don't you?
Yeah,
Yeah, apparently the person that had been responsible for uploading in the sector retired.
okay, so that,
And
Well,
there
but
was
it-
someone else that came along and they were very reluctant to put anything in. But I found out today that that person isn't doing that anymore. There's a new person, so now I have a new person in the court
Keep after
clerk's
to get
office
it done.
to get these different ordinances and codes of ours.
well, they got so many cars parked there that one day we had 2 cop cars parked in front of our house. They were down visiting the end house. So then we're having people calling and saying, how come you got the cops at your house? Well, there's no room for the cops to park down there to visit.
Are they all, does anybody know if they're licensed vehicles, current?
None of them licensed,
Well-
a couple of them are, but
The 2 that are directly, I don't know what kind they are, but sit right in front of the house next to us are, I can't see.
one
They-
hasn't moved for 2 years that I know of.
The other day, they had one that goes down their sidewalk or down their driveway, but then they moved it back away.
I'm sure their license, the tabs are probably just expired.
Yeah.
Well, that's part of the requirements to call them a nuisance
Right.
junk vehicle, but the parking's another issue. I mean, there's two
Yeah,
issues we're
that
dealing
old
with.
Jeep that was full of dirt was parked there for 2 days. Saturday night till yesterday, they moved it.
They must have, I don't know, 2 moms or something, because there's the blue car and the tan car come and go, which I don't have a problem with that, but it's the other junk that's there. And I know you guys can't do it overnight, but
Well,
we're just,
So I'll give it to you straight, and probably you're not gonna like anything that I'm gonna say, but this is the honest truth as far as I know it, having been on council since 2020. This is not something that we're going to get fixed even in the next 10 years if you made it the exclusive focus of the council and you get rid of all of us and put anyone you want on this council. And a lot of that is driven by requirements that are being put in place by Olympia that tie our hands, unfunded mandates, and inability to enforce things.
right, right.
And then when it comes to local situations, you have this game of pass the buck where we are paying for things from the sheriff's office, but
Yeah,
there's a debate as to whether we're getting them.
right.
And then the county prosecutor has not wanted to either deal with it at all, or they said that, well, we can't do anything about it until your codes are up to date. He went through our codes and he saw things like ordinances from the 70s that made possession of a drug a felony, which the city cannot do under any circumstance. So he said, I'm not going to upload any of your ordinances until you get all of them straightened out. Well, we have 500 and some.
And I made a
And
mistake
to do
too,
this
of trying to have
correctly-
the whole code put in there, and I found out you don't have to. You can
Well,
pick the pieces of the code.
right,
Yeah.
and so I'm not saying we can't make progress.
No, I
We are
realize.
gonna make progress, we have been making progress, it's slow, it's a lot slower than it should be, but I'm just letting you guys know, because I don't like the concept of people coming away from something like this feeling like they've been handled.
Yeah.
It's not going to be fast. Even, you can have all of our attention and agreement, and it's still not gonna be fast. And we're trying to find ways, I think we have the most active and proactive council that
Oh, yeah,
we've
I-
had since we've been here.
Yeah,
I hear you,
yeah.
and I'm gonna, I mean, as Jim said, we talk about enforcement almost every meeting, and we need to get even more serious about it, but it's a lot, it's probably at least 5 times bigger of a problem than anyone in the city would have a right to think that it is. Like, there's no reason why it should be this complicated,
Right,
but
right.
unfortunately,
that's where
Well,
we're
I
at.
read the ordinance for the lawns and stuff. Well, if you go up the highway, you see what's there. They've got bikes, they've got all that crap there. I don't, and on this month's bill, it said something about debris. Well, they're not gonna ask you to clean anything up, because they don't care.
Yeah.
But it looks like heck driving by. Everyone says we're just,
Oh,
feel sorry for you, which I'm sorry, but.
I've got,
We
I
could
actually
double
ran
park
across it
out there,
today, a
kind of
complaint
thing.
letter from another citizen who's pretty predominant in the
Yeah.
community, and he was like going, you know, 2 of the 3 ways into town absolutely look horrible.
It looks horrible, you guys, and we're proud of our town.
We're trying to be.
It cleaned up on this here, some of that was, you know, it looks better there with the way they're parking, but these guys, you could tell them, they don't
Is there a
care.
possibility we could look at this as a safety issue and get something done that way?
Well,
Because with those cars double parked, I know I plowed snow through there by there, and it scared me to death that somebody was gonna walk out between those cars. Could we maybe go that route
I think we can.
to do something?
Yes, you're right.
And, you know, if it's
Well,
it's out
there's-
right away, we could put ecology blocks.
Well,
I know there's
That
been
space.
conversation within the fire district that people are expecting that it's a matter of time before one of our vehicles hits somebody there.
right.
Well, there's a fire hydrant there too, and that's supposed to be parked next to.
Yeah, that too.
Well, and you watch vehicles come into town, and they move over the center line to go around that. So we definitely got a problem, especially there.
We had a problem with little kids on the highway, but those people moved out, thank heavens.
They moved to my neighborhood.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. But yeah, we just, I know you guys can't do it overnight, but we're just,
I hear your frustration.
you know, you work and you do your lawn and you get
I know.
everything, you paint your house, you know, and then you live next door to the 2 rentals. Tina still owns the end one, and the guy in prison for the rest of his life, his brother takes care of it, I guess.
Because we met them about 5 years ago now when we were over there in the library.
Oh, is that right?
And I think the one's a Montana, there's a connection with Montana and a trucker
Oh,
in some ways. And they felt that this is America, they have freedoms, and they were gonna do what they wanted to.
with the
So
rules.
you're dealing with a certain mindset,
Well, they got
Yeah.
nothing to lose,
right?
as long as they pay their rent and pay their water, you
Well,
know?
And they are doing that now.
Yeah, I heard. Well, Jerry talked to the Vista guy, because they had lights on there, no one living there, but the lights were on. And he said, well, we can't shut them off, and Jerry said, well, then I'll just quit paying our bill. No, you can't do that. But they can do it.
Oh, well, that was probably during COVID when they were restricted. Yeah.
It's a mess down there, and I'm proud of our town, and we like it, but
well, these folks have been here a long time, all my life,
Well,
pretty
and
much.
I,
Yeah.
watched you
Yeah.
young men grow up.
So, I mean, we
Thanks
owe
for
it,
the young.
we owe it to our citizens, and I appreciate you guys coming.
Yeah.
And I think the whole council does as
Yes.
well.
Yes.
Because this is, we owe it to the citizens of this town to diligently push forward with this even harder.
Well, we were down in Odessa, and all these people, we feel so sorry for you every time we drive by your house there, what a mess, you know, in the backyards. And the one guy did build a fence around Tina Brown's house, so that helped get rid of the junk. But all these rigs out there.
This is in Odessa too, though. If you drive in the right places in Odessa, it looks just the same. And every one of these little towns
every
has
town
this
in
problem.
Lincoln County.
If they've got the right rules, they can, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, you can try.
You can try.
Yeah,
But I'd venture to
But
say,
Stephen's right. We aren't gonna,
yeah.
it ain't gonna happen soon.
but I don't remember a time in Harrington's history, in my lifetime, that we had to this degree of stuff going on.
Yeah.
So it's a matter of policing ourselves and the moral aptitude of people moving in here.
If they
to-
don't,
In our committee meetings, or committee reports, we can start
okay, we can.
getting some targets
You wanna
and
hear the rest?
address this.
You want to stay and listen to the rest of them?
I don't care.
Or you go home, watch it on
Okay.
YouTube.
YouTube.
Okay, next on the agenda, any items on our consent agenda to remove?
Well, I have some things to discuss on the claims, so I guess that,
Pull the claims out?
yeah.
Okay.
And I would dare say that might almost become a default for the next few months.
Okay. Anything else?
Not from me.
Okay.
I'm good.
I'm good.
I didn't realize it got sent out to you, so we emailed it. Actually used. So I scanned it and sent it to all of you guys. 'Cause
I got it.
I have a fast button on there, and I'm curious, did that show where someone can reply to all? That was kind of a two-way deal. It was one, to get it to you, and two, I wanted to see the test, how it arrived to you.
All I got the letter.
Okay.
Was I supposed to do something with it once I got it?
You're
Besides
talking about-
read it, what I'm trying to say is, did everyone show up in the distribution,
No, all I got, I have,
just to you?
well, let me look. I have to go
I
back.
didn't even.
It- it says-
All I've got is.
It
Copier at
just says
Harrington?
copier,
Yeah.
no subject.
I got it.
Yeah, there'd be no subject.
It says Task Alpha.
Yep, that's the name of the copy. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, copier. That might
Well-
be in mine.
You're talking about the one from, that you sent out? Oh, yeah.
From Julia. Yeah.
Yeah,
sent it
no,
out.
I got it.
Okay. So Stephen, is that something that somebody could hit reply to all and get to
Oh, here we
everybody?
are.
Yeah.
Okay,
I mean, they're all in the two line, so, yeah.
okay. I didn't know how that was.
If it can
gonna-
send to BCC, that would,
Yeah, oh,
I don't know if that
that was
one's
an
capable.
experiment,
Yeah.
so. Okay, so, as you guys know, a letter went out to, I thought everybody, but I discovered that I need to send one to the school. But it basically about the cargo containers that are located in the city limits. And the letter was, hey, you've got one. This is what the code is. I included a copy of the code that addresses it, and asked for a response by the 15th. Julia Jacobson and the Mercantile is one of those containers. And what she's asking for is a variance, and I guess she couldn't make it tonight, but she's asking for a variance because she needs it for about 3 years while they kind of build up and get a permanent building put in there. So,
I drove by that.
so they bought the property, they cleaned it
Yeah,
up, they leveled it, they gravelled it, and they wouldn't have done it except for all the stuff that is in there had been in the hotel
Yeah.
that they had to clear out so the hotel could move into another phase of construction. So,
Well, since I'm semi-volunteered for the code committee, I would like to not vote on the variance tonight. I would like to talk to Julie. I'd like to look at the codes and see, me personally, where it's sitting and how it looks. I have no problem with that container. It's behind that garage that goes to the apartments, between there and the fire hall. But I realize by saying that, I'm leaving myself open. Well, you gave it to her.
True.
But that's why I want to know if what that is coded as.
I don't to answer your question, I don't believe we ever discussed, I mean, we discussed it, but I don't think we have anything written
It's
down.
on,
on the zone.
Part of the nuisance.
What is it zone, that's zone residence?
Oh, that, I
Zoning.
need to
No,
look.
it wouldn't
I need to
be.
look. But
I don't
if
think it
remember right,
is.
It was
I
the
think-
R2, if anything. I think it's commercial.
I don't know how far the commercial, this is commercial all the way through.
Right.
R1, R2, commercial, industrial, like, are the,
I don't think we have
But
industrial.
it's on the other side of the.
We do,
It's on the
but
other
it's-
side of the alley from here, so I don't know if that,
And I know there's some special stuff in the code that this, basically these brick buildings come under too. Some historic, semi-historical
There,
stuff.
yeah.
so.
Yeah.
'Cause I know
In
I-
our ordinance that was passed, and it's written into that nuisance ordinance 505, David, and it was, to summarize, it basically says you can't have more than one container on your property. And if you have a container, it needs to be altered in its appearance so it matches the neighborhood.
right. Well, you are correct, I do remember that, but as far as the actual code, telling
We've never put it.
15 feet for a fence off of the, describing building codes and stuff like that. I know Councilman Wilcox here was in the audience at that time that we
That was like
addressed this.
2-3 years ago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and,
I came in and asked the city to create a policy on it.
and we talked about it, and we went back and forth. I think we were still over in the other building. And it just, life happened, and, we never got, at that time, what do you do? Some people are already here. How do you handle that? Somebody already has one, they're gonna say, well, you're playing favoritism, or you're against us. I mean, somebody has one, you can't now, so
Right.
it's a
Well,
sticky wicket.
With that regard, that's why everyone got the same letter,
Yeah.
that, the ones that we identified. And some people that I've got, it's like, I had no idea they even had one, I've never seen it, but apparently there's a shipping container on
Well,
their
that,
property.
that property from the alley to the west, even the fire station is all zone residential.
Okay. So, and I don't think.
And that's
our-
something we
I don't
maybe
think our
can take care of.
code, Quite honestly, I don't think that piece of it identified you can have it in a commercial property, not in a residential. I think it was just unilateral across the board.
When I brought it to the council, that was my question. I thought that really a container is an industrial piece of equipment.
Building and structure.
And that was my question, as to putting them in the residential areas.
Yeah.
I have no problem, giving Creighton the room to move on his committee. But I would say this, for what it's worth, from my opinion with it, I think re-exerting control is a good first step. And if that looks like giving them a certain period of time to say, you can do it for now, I think the key to that is having a plan to hammer hard if they go past it. But I think part of what we enjoy about Harrington is if a person's going to be responsible and it's a temporary situation, their basement floods or whatever else, I think we can accommodate that as long as we can actually hold to, but you will have this gone, and maybe set a nice juicy, fee that we're going to charge or something that we can get on the other side of that. But
Yeah, I had thought of that even before you mentioned that. To give her 2 or 3 years and work with her, but make sure she knows.
Yeah.
And I don't know if we have to have her sign a contract or anything, but on the variance, this would be a temporary,
Yeah.
it isn't a forever
Right.
deal.
Right.
right,
And I know for a fact when because she approached us before she bought the building, what can I do here? And she wanted to know if she could put up a pole building. The one piece of information that I gave her that was incorrect is I didn't think there was water to that property, and come to find out there's actually a service line and a meter
Yeah.
at that property.
Well,
So
geez, we can buy that
she's-
service line from her and we can,
yeah, right.
So
There's one more.
I think it's just pure economics. I can envision that she's probably going to put up eventually a pole building there that is appropriate, probably with a refrigerator type, unit within it.
well, if you go to a lot of these particularly fast food restaurants that they have units that look just like one of those, only they're a refrigerator. And therein, I'm thinking that with her business, this is not that far off of what could be behind if it was commercial and it was a refrigerator.
Right.
Could we stop the refrigerator, but we're not gonna let something that looks just like it sit there?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why I'd like to work with her and investigate the code, and
Okay. So what I will do then is
I will try to get this done and get it before the next meeting.
Okay.
I'll let you know my
I
progress.
will. Do you have? Well, yeah, you have all the codes.
Well, yeah, somewhere. I doubt that I can find it.
Yes, I can help
It's in
you.
there somewhere.
I can help you. I've talked and Creighton's talked, but I don't know if the other three have said they're okay with that. Are you guys okay with giving Creighton room to run on that?
Sure.
I think it's a good idea.
Who's all on the code
Who's all?
committee?
I think just me right
It
now.
is just.
What
Yes.
the heck did I sign up for? I'm trying to,
Well, you're code enforcement. I mean.
Yeah, code enforcement. Yeah, you're dealing with that. We bailed on that.
David would love to have pizza with you.
because I've done work in both areas. I'm going, which one was it?
Oh, now we know.
No, I think we want to encourage our businesses to thrive. you know, Do what we can.
Yeah.
And I don't think anybody's been upset with how we've exerted control over containers in the past. They're upset that we haven't exerted control over containers in the past.
Right. So it's like everything. What if you're gonna, in your situation, if we're gonna address it, it's not gonna be just them. It has to be every similar situation throughout the entire city. So anyway, that is, she responded. Dan Fromm had asked to be on the agenda tonight, but I don't see him here, so I don't have anything from him like Julia got us. So
Is this a similar thing?
I guess he has a container on his property.
I ain't know.
I've never seen it. So
Who's Dan from?
He lives out there by Scott McGowan and Eric Tim, I think. Is that
Oh, okay.
no, he's over on
What's that guy's name up there then?
John Wagner.
No, the guy that lives,
So Dan Frog
Well-
is, if you go to Alice and he's the last house before the railroad tracks.
It's right across
Okay.
from the old parsonage.
okay, what's the guy's
old
name up
Catholic
there?
parsonage.
I'm sorry?
What's the guy, I thought that was Dan from too. Could be on, up there behind, actually, he lives on, says that First or Second, First Street up there. And his property in the back had the issue with the garden and the land, the survey and the marks between Eric and Kelly Tim, and
Oh, no, it is not him.
his name's Dan though, isn't it?
I cannot remember off the top of my head.
That's not the guy we're talking
No,
about,
that
okay.
is not the guy. He very often is out walking his dog in his jazzy chair
Okay.
in my neighborhood. So,
Yeah, guess I don't know.
Okay.
him. Oh, well, you learn something new all the time.
yep. Okay, so we wanted to put all that stuff on the front side. Now I'm gonna ask for additions to the agenda.
Lawnmower purchase order. And that's just a report, basically. Because I think we approved me doing that.
Actually, you know what we forgot to put on addition to be added? I can't remember, we dropped that and we forgot to put it back on.
It's
Go
there,
ahead.
solution to additions to the agenda.
Yeah, but we're supposed to have another line item down after
Okay.
that says, okay, we're gonna bring these to the table now. But, so I would
Oh,
say
I
just-
see what you're, okay.
Yeah, I would say, if unless you guys are opposed, go for it, talk to us.
Okay. I guess I just ordered the lawnmower. We haven't paid. We don't have to pay till it's delivered. And Brad will deliver it here with a full tank of gas, even said.
Cool.
Well, that just got more expensive.
I know.
Yeah. Was that before or after the bomb started?
Well, it was last week I talked to him, so
Okay, that was before.
it's kind of in the middle of
Before
it.
it spiked.
And also I did have, on that, I had an information seeking on wanting to know who we were gonna hire or what we were gonna hire to help with the lawn mowing. And this would be a 15-year-old kid. His dad talked to me. I think he would be really good, but I'm not sure what that entails that we're gonna have this hire do. If they're gonna just sit on the lawnmower, he probably would be good, but as far as what we were talking before, he might end up being the meter reader and the toilet cleaner and the weed whacker.
Are they legal to be hired at 15?
I talked to Sherry Tim at the Highline, and she gave me what they do, and they can legally work during school. It's pretty limited,
Right.
but during the summer they can work 40 hours a week.
Yeah, we have to get a
Okay.
minor work permit for the city.
Okay.
And we've done that before. What I have to do, because this may be an issue, is our insurance has limitations.
I'm guessing, and I told him that, I told his father that this might be a problem with him being that young.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't be able to drive, not that he's not capable. If I told you who it was, you'd know.
Oh, I have no doubt the capability is just a matter of, not making sure the city's not exposed.
Because I assumed that he was 16, but he's just 15, but his dad says he acts like he's 23.
I don't know, I was thinking I was wilder at 23 than I was.
They're old with that.
Anyway, I will just, I said I'd bring it up, and I think that's something that if he wants to apply, if we need to advertise for this, if he wants to apply, then that's pretty much up to you anyway, but I just was gonna bring it to the council's attention.
In light of that information that got dropped off.
Yeah.
My whole,
Yeah,
the whole
I
thing
know.
is gonna be
I know.
recalibrated. Okay.
I'd like to add something about the cemetery endowment
Okay.
fund. Mainly, how much is in it and where's it at now? How much is in it? How was it split? Because I was going through some files a while back and, okay. I'll share with, when the time comes, how much the whole fund, when it was put in there. I believe in January of '22, there's a figure. And then, the last other report is May 31st of 2024, what it is. And then there's considerable difference. Of course, it wasn't split at that time. So I just wondered that we split it right, just an accounting base of how that was done, if you would, or we
I
can.
can
Yeah,
get that to
that's-
you. I know that Cassie and I
It's
worked
250.
pretty hard to, because when it had been merged, a lot of that was done, so we had to do a lot of calculating. This goes into that, this goes into that, and then splitting the interest on that same share, percentage share. So it was done, and I know that we can get the number where it's at right now. I can tell you physically, it's still with us. We've not gotten a response from.
Ending balance is 521,702 and change.
I just want to make sure that going forward, because we're in the position we are, in the direction we're taking, that we use or utilize what it has coming to it.
Oh, yeah.
Legally, because we'll get audited and stuff like that, but I just want to, so I'm not trying to bust anybody's chops, I just want to make sure it's.
We can
whole.
show you the math. Like I said, it took a while to go back through the history of payments that came in, and it wasn't just the original lump sum, it was since then the donations specifically to the endowment fund. It was the percentage of sales that automatically go in there, and it was just
Oh, there's-
picking those out and tabulating them and coming up with a sum. So it took a minute to do it, but we
And-
came up with what we felt was pretty accurate.
And to make sure our accounting, what we separated, that we get our fair share, you know, that things,
Right.
just everything's kosher.
Yeah. So, but I think, Cassie, is it all sitting in the LGIP until we get this?
All of the cemetery endowment fund is in the
And May
LGIP.
of
Nothing has been split from the endowment
24,
fund.
that's what was in
The
it
only
with
thing that was
both
taken out
accounts
of
combined.
LGIP was the city funds and the interest earned to that, but the interest earned
see
to the
that.
LG, to the
Lawnmower.
cemetery
Oh, I
endowment fund
did,
is still in
Stephen?
LGIP
Well,
with
the lawnmower
endowment
stuff?
fund.
Okay,
Thanks.
so the LGIP is pretty much nothing but cemetery.
It is nothing but the original endowment funds to the best of what I could find, plus all of the interest that it's earned since then.
Okay,
Right.
so the LGIP
Yeah.
sum is that sum. It's not blended anymore.
It earned almost $1,500.
So,
And I'd like to talk about expenditures generally. And then also, just to check in on things like spraying and the grass around this property. Oh, and a third item of library building.
okay, do you want to just go through those right now, since on our agenda it's more appropriate?
I can.
Okay.
Let's start with the library building, I guess. I didn't talk with Becky afterwards, but I told them that I had been informed, though I did not verify this, that there was supposed to be a common wire available for the thermostat in there, and that they could decide to purchase out of their money a smart thermostat. The next, and it was noted that the current one is programmable, but some of the problems with that is either limitations in programmability or how long it's going to take to recover. Because if you want to save a bunch of money and say I'm going to set it at 55 degrees and it gets really cold, that programmable thermostat's not going to know that it should start a lot earlier if it needs to be there by 9 a.m., right? And so you have a programmable thermostat, but you're going to keep reprogramming it all the time through the winter because you've got a huge space and a lot of brick to heat and all that kind of stuff. So, as we were talking through this, one of the things that I noted is in order to give them greater flexibility on how they heat that building, which I think is important because we're saying that the money to pay for their utilities is coming out of their budget, that we should ensure that the pipes on that building are insulated. So my recommendation is to have Ken or Lance go in and make sure that all the pipes for the bathroom are wrapped. And I would, just personally, I would also put some kind of a heat tape or something in there so that they could also activate that if they wanted to. And that way I said, if you have that and you put a little electrical heater in the bathroom specifically, then you can go as cold in the main area as you think appropriate. Because nothing's going to freeze, it doesn't matter. You can basically you can go as cold as you think you can get away with and have it come back up to temperature before you use it. And that'll give them the best option of saving as much money as possible. And that's less money on our Vista bill, and you know, until we change the way the library is funded, ultimately all of their dollars are right now coming out of our money, even though we assign it to their budget. So I think that helps us to try and put a little bit of money into insulating those pipes.
Okay.
Those pipes aren't wrapped at all.
I have no clue. I've not gone and looked.
I think they go right down to the basement. I think they go straight down.
Well, and that's why I'm thinking it shouldn't be that hard, because they should have access to
It's
it.
probably necessary. I would be willing to bet that basement being sealed probably never gets below 50 degrees.
How far down are you thinking of taking building temperatures?
We can put limits to them to say that we don't want you taking our building down any farther than X, but I'm just saying, I think it's a cheap insurance policy to just make sure that it has some protection, because other than the pipes, there shouldn't be anything that's that concerning.
I don't think the historical documents in it would be hurt by getting cold.
And to Jim's point, there is a legitimate discussion to be had about how cold we want them going, but I just think it's good to ensure that we can go as cold as we want them to go, or will allow them to go.
Okay. So.
So you're asking us to purchase another thermostat, or?
No, I
Or are
told
they
them,
gonna buy-
with the current situation and me being the cheap person that I am, I said, you guys can buy it out of your budget. And that didn't
I'm all
cause
for
any
that.
marital issues at the time, so.
It's coming.
I think they're happy enough to do that because right now we've assigned the utilities to them. So considering how much electricity and natural gas it takes to heat that space, I think that's probably a bet they're willing to take, that they'll get that money back pretty soon.
Yeah, there's two pretty
Okay.
cheap.
I'll write up a work order for Public Works to take a look at it.
Okay.
Okay. And expenditures?
Yeah, and this will probably just be a standing item. I did see the RICO contracts on the agenda, so we'll get to that. I'm going to try and kind of have every month something that I'm just going to be looking at all the claims that I see and where we're going to keep attacking this. And got to give credit to Cassie on this one because she came up with this idea. And it'll be interesting because we actually have public with us today, so this might not be such a I know this might not be a popular idea, but Cassie was. And to be clear, actually, before I end up accidentally throwing Cassie under the bus, she came with one idea and I tweaked it to another. So if anyone present here or on YouTube thinks this is a really bad idea, the worst part of it is mine, to be clear. The part that she had that was good was that she was going through town and noticed that like part of the lights were on and part of them were off like way too early. And she knows, and if you guys are seeing the bills, our Avista bill is insane, yeah, and it's just going to keep getting worse with all the carbon tax stuff that's going to keep rolling down. It's just going to keep getting worse and worse, and that it's going to bury us, to be frank. So that's the first thing I'd say here is, if you don't want to do something more dramatic on the Avista bill, then you figure out how we're going to pay for this, because we're going to have to do something that's a little out of the ordinary. But Cassidy was saying, we could at least make sure that they're turned on when they're supposed to, and she was asking me what I knew about it, and I said, well, I'm a little bit unclear, because when I first got on council, and maybe David remembers some of this, we had problems with the lights blinking. And so they looked at them once, and they said, we can't fix it. And then we looked at them again, we changed a bunch of bulbs. And then I think we looked at them again, and then I don't know what happened, but you actually got it fixed, and now they mostly all work. Right, so...
It's called screwing the light bulb in all the way.
Okay.
I fixed a few myself. Went up there and took them off and screwed them. They were just not screwed in all the way.
Right.
But we were talking about, I think they all have individual sensors and stuff, and so... Okay.
Not to interrupt, but we already addressed it. So
Lance?
Lance.
Kudos to Lance.
Well, I know you sent me the text about where the meters were.
I
but-
thought you were asking me to locate those.
Well, I
asked him to
was.
find them, and so he was,
Yeah.
so I had just thought it would be easier to show you what he had said, but he discovered that there were 3 different sensors.
Right, okay.
And so he pulled one, he goes, this one is bad for sure. So he pulled one, brought it in, and we ordered all 3, $20 each, and he replaced them.
Okay, I don't know that I saw that part of the text, so I'm getting up to date on this. But I guess what I'm getting to is so that we've achieved what Cassie originally wanted. Kudos to her for bringing that up, and thank you for that. Then my even worse idea was this. If we had a relay for those, or there's already a relay perhaps in place that could be controlled, we could have the option of turning the street lights off from 1 a.m. to 4 a.m. I mean, think about what that would do to that. I'm not talking about when people are still out and about much, and people are driving around before they reach Harrington in the dark with their headlights on. I'm saying in the time of night when almost no one probably is out, before anyone's hopefully getting up in the morning, we could possibly save 4 hours of light that no one even cares about.
I'm gonna disagree with you.
Okay, that's fine. I'm just bringing it up because
The ones that are out at that time of the morning are the ones that are out not doing what they should be and breaking into places and theft and that type of thing. You gotta look at these streetlights as a security thing too, not just convenience.
I agree.
I don't know that that's necessarily the city's responsibility to pay for that security for the property owner, though. Otherwise, why is it that some streets in Harrington get lit and the owners get the benefit of it and some don't?
I'd have to literally go out and put eyes on where all the lights are. I mean, we know about Third, that's obvious, and I know about Adams because.
Yeah, they're scattered around.
I was talking to somebody that was around in the brownouts in World War II.
But
The cities.
I'm pretty sure there's at least one at every intersection,
No.
With lights.
a street light.
There is up second.
And I'm not talking about one of these columns, I'm talking
No,
about.
the regular
You're talking about the,
Yeah.
well, I'm
Because we're
not
paying for
talking
those
about
also.
those, well, I know, but those aren't centrally controllable like the ones down this street are. Those have their own individual controllers, right? They're not all wired together.
Believe.
No, they're all control individual.
Right.
They
The
probably have
eyes on top.
And
Are they?
aren't those a Vista?
And
doesn't
the Vista
pay for-
pays for those anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but we pay for the electricity.
They're on they aren't on a metered line, they're on a hotline.
We get 3 separate, in our breakdown, I'd have to look.
Well, there's a fee from them that.
They may
charges us.
be charging you per light,
They do.
but they are not metered.
Right.
Correct.
So there was one where it became a debate up at the school, just a regular, it was like, okay, who's paying for this? Is it the school or the city? It was a discussion, and I don't know where it ended, but that conversation started by Avista. It's like, we don't know who we're supposed to be billing for this light pole.
Well, and my guess is they're charging you per light.
They are.
For the area lights.
For the light, they aren't charging you for power use.
Right.
Nope.
Oh, is that
It's
true?
just a flat rate for the area lights.
Yep.
Okay.
Which, to be clear, that's not what I was referring to, but
Well, I'm gonna agree with Jim, Stephen,
That's fine.
I think.
that's fine.
I would hate, I guess I just don't think that
It would
would be a good
invite
idea.
something that might not.
It's good in theory, but not in practicality.
We could relook at the type of light that is being used. I mean, they're LEDs, they're about as inexpensive
Yeah,
I
they-
think
they've
they're- as they
they've
can.
upgraded
They're
a lot
halogen.
of them.
They
not
were
all
changed to LEDs.
All of them are.
Yeah, uh-huh.
These are, but like
Yeah.
street
Every one that I
corners are all
pulled out and
LED.
put in was.
No, those are LED. Avista came in and put
Yeah,
LED
changed them all
ones
out.
that shine down instead of up because of light pollution, in
Oh,
theory.
the other-
Yeah, all the ones that are just on a
Yeah.
pole.
All
Yeah, on the
ours-
pole, yeah.
Yeah, all of ours are LEDs.
Yes. Besides maybe those two, and I don't even think they're on anymore, the ones up at the Greenview
Now,
Park.
No.
the ones up in Adams,
They
when
might
I
not.
see them, they seem extremely bright.
Yeah.
And I guess what I'm saying is, instead of having 240 LEDs in one of those, we could cut down how many LEDs are being triggered.
You mean, what do they call it, lumens or, yeah.
Yeah.
What would
Get
be
dimmer bulbs.
nice, but, and Cassie is right, there's only 3 sensors. There's one down by the old state shed and 2 up here.
Right.
If you could turn off every other one, like your
Yeah, I
thing,
don't
but
think-
that isn't gonna work the way they're wired together.
No. I knew it was not going to be a popular idea. I'm just saying, look, I would love, it's kind of to David's, like what David said when we were talking about wages. I'd like to give everyone $1 million. I'm just saying, you don't like this solution, I urge the council to figure out something else, because we can't keep paying these Avista bills.
Well, and there's a lot of things that we can be looking at.
Yeah.
We should be looking at everything critically that's using.
Well-
I'm gonna be kind of excited to see what kind of power draw the new pump is gonna be pulling compared to the old pump. I have to believe it's probably much more efficient.
Well, rate, you gotta face one thing, rates are going up. You know, people pay, I mean, not a lot we can do about it.
And we cannot increase any form of income to keep up with it, is the
Right,
biggest
well-
thing. There is nothing within our control. We can say, well, we'll just pass that on to the people, that's the cost of it. We can't do that.
No, the only thing that we can do proactively to generate money to cover this stuff, this is my opinion, is to encourage each one of these businesses up and down the street here to sell more stuff from out-of-towners to out-of-towners. You know,
Oh, my, well,
We'd get a lot more if we had some kind of a campaign to help people understand. Every month I run into someone who doesn't understand that online sales tax comes back here. I keep telling people the first thing that you can do to shop local is buy it in town. The second thing you can do to shop local is buy it online. Because that
have it
sales,
delivered
and have it delivered here, because that sales tax comes back here.
I do my
And
part.
through our county too.
yeah.
All those Amazon boxes are mine.
Yeah, every time people go to Spokane and buy something, it's Spokane that gets the benefit.
Yeah,
Luminaire
exactly.
On every block, it wasn't lit up like this before, years.
So,
There was still
But it was light.
about every other block, or
Yeah.
every corner, I think.
But if you.
On this street, down Main Street, there was at least 3 per block.
Yeah, it was quite a few.
Down this 2 blocks or
Well, I
3
know from the
blocks.
drugstore, there was a Luminaire. But I don't remember anything over there. Well, there was one in that alley there. But if you did every other one of these lights, how much of a savings would it be?
Half.
I mean, dollar lights.
I mean, we can look it up. I mean, it's in the claims.
But I mean.
It's in the claims. I can look it
So
up.
these are
It tells you-
These are metered downtown.
So instead of 6,000,
Okay.
so instead of 6,000 some odd dollars, it would be 3,000 some
Yeah.
odd change?
Per month
I don't think.
in the winter.
well, it's not,
in
it's,
the winter
it's not all
time.
lights, remember, this is,
Yeah.
That's a total
it's
of
the
it.
shop, it's the wells, it's.
No, I know. Well,
See, for area lights, we're just paid $81. For street lights, though, it was $1,253.
yeah.
Where'd you,
Yeah.
which one is that?
That's-
Claims.
In a month that didn't have the Christmas lights on too.
They're all LEDs.
Yeah. You wanna go there, Steven?
I'm not saying just. No, so it'd be if it's 1,200, that'd be 600
And
per month.
you gotta understand that during the winter, when it's dark longer, they're staying on longer.
Right.
So in the summertime, you could probably cut that by a third approximately, I'm guessing, that it would be around $900 a month.
Until they raise the rates.
Well, I understand that.
And that's
but-
what's gonna bite
Right,
us.
and yeah.
Yeah, it's not the
And that's-
kilowatts, it's
Yes,
the,
I know.
Right.
you guys need to put solar panels on your roofs.
Well, and that's what I'm saying, is that the time to get ahead of this is while we still have some money to invest to get ahead of it. Otherwise, if we keep running this out for the next 10 years and watching that kill us, it's gonna be even harder to make any type of investment and changes because we'll already be feeling so much more pain. And we already don't feel flush, but,
Well-
I mean, it can get worse.
I will say this, the technology is there, and I keep my eyes peeled on the grants.gov. But there's a lot of municipalities that are developing solar panels over the top of their wastewater treatment plant, specifically to offset the expenses, because those pumps are not,
Yeah, but we applied for a grant through
Yeah, we
David
didn't
Funk
get it.
for that, and we didn't get it. But we're not likely to have the money to be able to lay out that kind of a stuff on
no,
our
I'm
own.
not, I'm not suggesting we, not Harrington's money, it's
No.
other people's money. It's, like I said, grant.gov is where I'm at.
Well, just
Okay.
bringing it up is something we need to be thinking that direction. Even if you don't like that idea, the idea of figuring out how to kill that Avista bill some is something we all need to be thinking about.
Okay.
Well, I can see your side of it. I just haven't been here that long to have a disagreement with you, so here we are.
I knew I wouldn't lose the coat before it happened.
All right. Any more discussion on that? Okay. The committee reports. I will confess, I put this in there that I would like this to be kind of a standing item on our agenda.
Every meeting.
And I know every week or I mean every month, and I know that we're not gonna have a report every month, but at least I want that to be on there so somebody can bring something if it's relevant to do so. So, I don't know if any of you guys have anything to talk about. I do know I wanna meet up with you to.
For events.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cemetery, lawnmower.
Yeah.
Also, you must have sent out a letter for donations, because I got a call from my guy today and he wanted to know where to put it. I said maintenance. So,
Yeah,
I was glad.
They've been coming back.
yep, good job, thank you.
Do those go out with the water bill? I didn't get one.
No, they're on a separate mailing list, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't get one.
Because this went to Denver, Colorado, this one.
if you wanna be on the list, let me know, I'll add you.
I'm donating right now.
Yeah, when I get an email every now and again where somebody wants to be on the list. So,
What do you guys tell them? What's their options? Maintenance and,
maintenance or endowment.
there's a third one there. Did we do away with that? Improvement,
I'd have to
cemetery
look at the letter
improvements.
again.
Improvements, maintenance, and endowment. Improvements and maintenance are they're kind of crossover, but there were
They went
three,
into the same fund.
there were three
I
of
do
them.
know there was a line in there that I wrote that specifically said, maintenance is our greater need. More, emphasizing it more so than our endowment.
The return envelopes.
However, their endowment money stays there, and it's the
That's what
interest
they
they
would
get.
like. And they go
The
out
gift
with the
you
mayor's
give
letter.
keeps on giving.
Well, until we get it with Harmon,
Here you go.
it's gonna be giving less and less.
And we do, which is painful, we do send those out with a stamped return envelope.
Approximately how many do you send out, Cassie?
There were 103
Okay.
Okay.
that I sent out this year.
So about $100 of stamps to do that.
Yeah. 'cause
Plus to get them there, so $200 worth of stamps.
$78 twice, yep.
Yep.
It probably brings in more than that.
Yes, it does.
I've got a little I met with the DOT the other day and kind of talked several different subjects with them. I guess the first one as far as our street closure and that type of thing, James Wege is still working on that.
Okay.
And-
I heard today that he is on holiday for 3 weeks.
Is he?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So that's in the process. And as far as projects on the main drive of 23 through town, they are, in about the next 5 years, they're gonna redo all these towns around here. We aren't on the 3-year list yet, probably.
Okay.
But what they told me is when they do it, to be ready for some planning, they will let us know when it's coming and we will be involved in the planning. You're looking at probably bulb outs for crosswalks, you're talking at bike lanes. A lot of that stuff we're gonna have to try to figure out, what we wanna accept, what we wanna go to bat for. But they assured me that we will be brought into the discussion when the planning happens.
Okay.
So they are planning on redoing these towns. And as far as maintenance on potholes, that type of thing, give them a call. If we see something,
Say something.
give them a call in Davenport. And that's part of their maintenance crew's jobs, is to take care of those spots. And if they know about them, they're covering a lot of miles.
Right.
And as far as, we talked about street sweeping and shared equipment and hiring to do stuff, they kind of got into a deal where they don't do that anymore because there was complaints about them unfairly competing with the private sector. So they have walked away from that, and they aren't gonna do anything that, competes with the private sector.
On the stuff, the sand they put down on the state highway through town?
No, they're doing that.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Through the town. is
Yeah.
what you're saying.
There was when I was working there was a deal where they were gonna charge the cities. I think they finally got away from that. We had to keep track of what we were putting down, and it just was more record keeping, but I think they finally decided that it was costing them more to do the book work and the billing than it was for the sand, so what we've got is the state handles everything to the fog line, outside the fog line to the curb is ours.
Okay.
And that's what we're responsible for.
So if they put bike lanes in, that would widen the
That would
street.
widen their.
That would also take care of some double parking too.
Told you we'd get it fixed.
They came to Odessa with this thing. They had like a big community forum, and they set up in the school gym, and they had different sections that they wanted you to like visit and kind of like take a little marking tape and kind of put what you feel like the problem areas are and why. And they took notes of everything.
Yeah.
And some of the ideas that they have presented for the bike lanes or making barriers of either like concrete planters or even poles to prevent like more of the parking issues and to protect the bike lane riders. They were actually really cool plans, and they asked everybody that showed up, like, what do you feel like would be the best value for Odessa? What would be the safest thing? What's important to you? And they listened and they took really good notes. I was super, super impressed.
Odessa's paved curb to curb though too, that main road that goes through there.
And
Or
we've got
only
two-
Huntington's-
we've got two
Well, they're
main
talking,
highways
they're
going-
talking sidewalks, the whole bit,
Yeah,
redesigning everything.
yeah.
We just
So,
Now we
Spent
just
money
make it
doing
bike
that.
riders.
They can put tack strips in, right?
Stephen can walk on them.
Yeah?
No, I think that the relationship will be good as long as we are just, let them know what we're feeling, what we're thinking. And
Okay.
as far as the signing for the road closures and that type of stuff, they officially aren't going to loan us stuff, but
Okay. Well, now we know. So. Okay. Anything else to?
anything to talk about?
Committee-wise or any of those topics?
Well, if we who is our code enforcement officer? Do we have one?
We do not have one right now.
So that's part of the problem.
Yeah.
Well,
You're looking at it, basically.
what is Lance and Deanne's role with it?
They are, when something comes up, they're the ones delivering information, but they're not necessarily pinpointing and going out and looking for the issues.
Okay.
so what we need is the public to come in here and let us know where the problems are then, correct?
Yeah, it would help.
Well, I reiterate my suggestion to the council that we advertise for a chief enforcement officer, code enforcement officer.
Got two of them right there.
So moved.
Oh, yeah.
We'll give you a baseball bat.
I went with Josh Howard.
So. All right, moving on. RICO contract. I don't know how this will go over. I meant to review it again today. I'm gonna grab it real quick. What I'm looking for is officially you guys asking me to do what I can to make it go away.
So moved.
Unplug it.
Stephen,
Yes. So I moved.
I missed that. Here. What I don't know is how long this is currently supposed to go out to. I'll get it.
what is Rico?
So what I missed.
Copy
that
machine.
we're-
Okay, second.
Okay. Okay,
I
we've
thought
got a
that's what
first
it
and a
was.
second to do what we can do to cancel this Rico copier contract. Any further discussion? Okay, all in favor say aye.
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 Thank you. Passes 5-0.
Do you expect any issues with that?
I'll have to read it. It was signed in 2022. So
How many year contract was it, year by year?
that's-
Whose signature's on it?
I just saw it, and it's somebody that you really wouldn't expect to have signed it.
Oh, I would.
Jerry Lee.
Yeah.
The former clerk,
Yeah.
or one of the.
That's
former
not how that.
So we're paying $136 a month for that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Signed July 2025, July 2022.
We had this discussion 5 years ago about that.
Well, now we have an alternative.
Yeah.
Thank you to
It's fully
Joe.
functioning, so. That's, okay. Cool, thank you. Ordinance 519. Just a little bit of housekeeping. Did you guys get a, we talked about it last time, I got it written up. Did you guys get a chance to read it?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, the old one, is it same as the old one?
The locations changed. The old one had locations I don't think existed anymore.
Yeah. 'Cause I was trying to-
It was supposed to be posted, I think, at the drugstore.
Move to approve.
Second.
What's our requirements? Is it, do we have
2 places.
2 places are required, I believe, yeah, right?
So, and these are the
Okay.
places that we've been posting it since I've been on council and mayor,
Right.
so.
Have you had any pushback? People say, well, where are they at? I mean, okay.
Bulletin board at the post office, isn't it usually on the door? The front door when stuff is posted?
It used to be years ago, but it's on the, just around the corner. It's just-
Yeah,
bulletin
just around the
board.
corner on the.
It's also on
bulletin board
Facebook. You're posting it on Facebook, right? After we see it?
there. Yes, and because I wanted to make sure we actually forgot to post it on Facebook
That's
until this
okay.
afternoon, so.
I don't think that's part of the ordinance, but you have been doing that.
Yes, we have been, yeah. Okay. Any further discussion?
Nope, I'm good.
Okay, all in favor of passing the notification, official notification location ordinance, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you. All right.
Thank you.
Our consent agenda.
I move
Which
we
would be-
pass the consent agenda minus the claims.
Second.
Okay. Any further discussion? Okay. All in favor of passing the consent agenda, signify by saying aye.
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 Thank you. Okay. And claims was removed, so you had to, want to review the claims separately, Stephen?
Yeah. All right. Let's see here. Okay. Did we was this tied in with the wastewater treatment plant upgrade? Did we have a line on reducing our testing costs? Because I seem to remember that we thought we might have had something in that we could pursue, but I couldn't remember what that was.
We talked about it.
That is, that is one of the eventual goals.
Is that
Is that,
Tied
but
with
that
the
will-
wastewater
right
treatment?
now, so we have a permit that is written by the state.
right?
Once the remodel, if you will, is done, they will get together and they will rewrite our permit, and that's one of the goals that we have to
Right.
lobby for, is to have our testing reduced. And I think with everything going on, I think we have a good chance
who's this
of
to?
reducing that by
It's not a touch
potentially
screen. But
having it tested once a month instead of,
we don't have any viable path to reducing that cost before the wastewater treatment plant gets redone that we know of.
the only thing we can do is go to a different lab, and the next closest lab is Tri-Cities.
Right. And was there anything, have we fully established that the county's lab can't do anything more than what they're doing for us?
My understanding is they only do water, not wastewater.
Right. But don't we send samplings of our drinking water out to Anatech as well?
That's all wastewater treat.
Oh,
That's all
wastewater,
wastewater
okay.
testing.
And we send some drinking water up there, don't we?
I thought we did.
As needed, if there's a concern, if there's something that
No,
comes
it's
up.
just as needed, okay. Because I thought the Anatech bill was always split between wastewater and drinking water.
I remember seeing it that way.
Well, I will confess, I could be wrong. I know
Well, I'm just looking here.
and I don't know what the county's lab is capable of. I have to have a conversation with Devin, I can ask that question.
I would just, if we are stuck until the wastewater treatment plant's in, then I guess that's where we are at. But again, I'm looking at large bills, trying to think about what we can possibly do. And if the county can do anything more for us, we should be doing it with the county, I think.
Very much so.
Next thing that I noted, we'd already talked about Avista. Oh, just generally, I don't know if I had missed this, but I saw a post on Facebook about how we're rebuilding the F-350, and I don't know if I ever did we ever talk about in a council meeting? I don't think we did, about what all was done to that F-350, because we've paid a fair amount of bills to put this thing back into service, and I'd like kind of an update on what did we do to it,
So
and
it-
kind of why. Like, I know it was just about dead, so I get that why, but
We didn't
just
rebuild it, first off. So they didn't pull it apart, pull pistons, rebuild it that way. What they did do is, because it was hemorrhaging worse than the Exxon Valdez, is they pulled it, cleaned it, and then replaced every gasket on it. And then through that, they addressed some of the other issues. One of the ball joints was going bad, and so it was all maintenance is really what it was. It's just trying to be more friendly, really.
Okay,
I mean,
so on
the heater went out last year, we had to get that replaced. I mean, fortunately, yes, it was, I think, $1,700 in all the parts and pieces that were used, but
which is fine. I know it was just
Yeah.
about dead, but I'm curious, did this get us any closer to be able to reliably take it to Davenport if we needed to?
I believe so, yeah.
As long as you have AAA.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I would take it down to Rockland to get there, but.
We're talking about the old green, the 74,
Yeah,
flatbed.
yeah. I mean, they replaced the clutch. I mean, because that was.
Again?
Well, I know it was so bad that we didn't even want to take it to Davenport, and I just kind of wanted to get an idea of whether all this money at least bought us a Davenport-ready vehicle.
Well, if we, I mean, it's not our first choice. I mean, it is
Yeah.
a gas hog, and it is not particularly the most comfortable to drive, having driven it myself.
Right.
So,
But do we want to replace it? That's,
I don't think we want to. I don't think we could for, I mean, it's got a tilt bed. They made sure that the
Hoist.
hydraulics for the tilt bed are working correctly. I think they had to replace a hose or two in the last couple of years. So it's a fully functioning, working, it's not pretty, it's old, but it works.
Good. But okay, it's a ton truck, or, you know, but for the most part, it should be hauling very light loads. I mean, like some of the dirt and maybe occasional bucket of gravel. But what do we have for more utilitarian, single axle dump truck? That orange one I see around once in a while? Is
And
it-
they've got that one.
Here's what they're doing.
Unfortunately, that was probably the last maintenance item,
Uh-huh.
is because it was up at the cemetery and a couple of the tires finally let go. So we had to put new tires in because they were split rims and the price was not terribly different. The tires that were on there were at best, I guess, World War II era.
They were awful.
So it's getting new rims and new rubber that's more current, that bolts on. It's $2,000 to replace basically everything on the back axle, but that's rims and tires.
I believe
And,
that.
and before I gave the okay on that, I didn't realize how much they used it, and apparently they use that a lot.
Yeah.
So,
Well, it's our only heavy use vehicle.
well, except for the snowplow, but that's not really feasible for.
Yeah.
So they use it, but because of
Yeah.
that, they're using the 1 ton, you know, if I see them throw the stuff in it to go up to the cemetery, if they have to like dig a hole for a urn or something like that, they'll
Yeah.
just put everything in the back of that, so. And other stuff, like, you know, when they're having to move stuff around, they'll use that. Quite honestly, more often, the last couple times, all the street signage, when they were doing the cleanup, instead of using it, it's easier to put it on the trailer,
Yeah.
so they just tow the trailer through town. But it's a good working truck. I mean,
It doesn't have a tow hitch on the back, does it?
I think it has a receiver, but I don't think they use it for that.
Yeah.
And the only other thing on the claims that I wanted to bring up is, I think at some point, just as a heads up, we should re-examine, and to be clear, I've been a proponent of this, and I think I still may be, but we probably should re-examine the Leffel, Otis, and Warwick payroll aspect of things.
And I would agree. As a matter of fact, I've breached that topic with our treasurer, and more often than not, she's having to put the same information in Springbrook, and it's spitting out the same result. And-
So Springbrook could do that
Yes.
instead of that?
Yeah.
And my concern, and why I think I would remind people that similar to the cemetery, we put that contract in place when we were in a different personnel situation, and we were struggling with other things that we needed time more than we needed a lot of other things. But
I will say this, it is very nice because they keep us on track with
Updates.
making sure 941s and what have you are filed.
right, and that's going to be the hard part. I think that there's no reason to get rid of it for $300 a month if it's going to cost us more time to try and keep up on that whole process. I'd be happy to see that offloaded if it's going to be hard for us to keep up on it. But if it's practical, maybe it's time to look at bringing that back in-house.
The one other thing, just as you're thinking about it, that they do bring to the table is the ability for people to get their paychecks automatically deposited.
Right.
Otherwise, we're back to cutting paper checks for people. They have to run the bank, get them deposited. God forbid they get held up or, you know, waiting to get deposited by the bank.
Has a feature for direct deposit.
I'm sure it's not free. That's probably more than $300 a month in and of
I don't know, I'll
itself.
have to look.
Nothing with Springbrook.
Well, I
is
know-
cheap.
Springbrook has that capacity?
But
Okay,
we could set it up with our bank too.
okay.
Springbrook is like when you get fries, but the ketchup costs you $20 a packet.
But we can set it up with Wheatland as well.
Yeah.
To send that direct.
Okay.
And we could still use Leffel and Warwick once a quarter too, to do, if we wanted to. If we felt like it was a benefit
Yeah,
to us,
I do know
Kind of an internal accounting.
yeah, something like that.
without getting too far out of the weeds, I do know that they were invaluable in 2024 when we got a letter from the IRS and some of our reporting was not necessarily accurate, and they swept in and cleaned it up like that.
And that's part of why we needed them in that season, and I have no regrets that we put that contract in place. It was the right thing for that time.
Yeah. So. Okay.
That's
Anything
all
else?
on the claims for me.
Okay. Yeah, I went through when I was going through these, I was like, ooh, but some of these I think are just annual payments. I think I saw one in there. Did we finish up one of our loans, Cassie? I thought I saw something that said a final payment.
Yeah, the final payment to MPP.
No, I thought it was one of the Department of Ecology payments.
Oh,
Maybe
there
I-
was, yeah, a final loan payment. And then there's another one as well coming out, like the 2 small loans are now
Okay,
taken care of, so.
okay. Well, that's fun.
Was that accounted for in the budget?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
For some reason, the AP report that I sent was updated to October,
Oh.
so there's the right one, sorry.
well,
But you got everything individually anyway, so.
We're good. Thank you, Cassie.
okay. With regard to the claims, does anybody want to entertain a motion to pass them?
Move to approve.
Second.
Close.
who was first?
I did it.
Gavin,
Or Rochambeau for it.
I'm giving it to Gavin. Soundwave's got here quicker. Okay, we have a motion to approve the claims. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
5-0, thank you. Mayor's comments. There's a lot going on, so I'm just gonna ask you guys to trust me on that, but I don't want to get into too much conversation with it. I will tell you that an advertisement, a request for qualifications has officially been put into the paper for a new engineer for our wastewater treatment plant. That will run for 2 weeks. And then we have to go through the engineers that throw their hat in the ring, basically go over the resumes and then choose one.
That's my department.
I was just looking that up.
And I verified that this was okay. We'd already had a couple of engineers indicate that they were interested, so they've already gotten the full packet of scope that they're asking for. It's about 15 pages long. So fortunately, we didn't have to put that in the paper. So, but it's gonna be bad enough. It was like a 1 page but we have to advertise for it. So that's,
Are we gonna need a special meeting? Because we're gonna need to move on that exceptionally quick, right?
it's just, we're putting everything in motion to address it as quickly as possible. So what happens is the committee will select a engineer, and then we start looking at the contract negotiation with that engineer. And I will make it abundantly clear to all of them, it's like, and they all know. I mean, I've had conversations with the two already, and anyone else who comes in will have the same conversation. This is a fast track, so.
Okay.
And it's gonna be, I don't know, it's a tall mountain to climb, but we're gonna do everything we can to make it go away, to get it done, so. That's all I got.
Any more
Public comments,
comments?
anything else
Oh, I
to
was just
add?
gonna say, we really like the recycling things and the green Green, is Green coming back pretty soon?
I have, so let me ask you, I mean, yes, it is coming back, and I was thinking, with it being so warm, should it
Yes.
come back sooner than later?
Yes,
Yes.
ASAP.
I got a bunch of stuff in my backyard that I'm waiting for.
Okay, understand. We'll get it ordered and we'll get
And Jer-
the,
I
Jared
keep dumping a pile back there, but it's in my yard, so.
okay.
keeps watching the cars go by, like coming from Davenport, and then they're going over and putting their stuff in there, and then they drive back, because Davenport doesn't have any recycling bins out
Oh.
anywhere.
Well, the green
They're
bin
right
is
at
the
the
one that costs us a
landfill.
princely sum. So, but we can't get away with, we can't not have it.
It's
We have
sure
to have it.
nice.
Yeah.
It is. And that little stairway there really helped for a lot of the women that do, yeah.
That's our public works. They took it upon themselves to build that all by themselves
Oh,
and
it's nice. I see the women, you know, a lot
Not
of.
only for the women, it's for the old people.
I use it.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
too proud to use it.
Yeah,
Couple other things real quick. Did we get rid of the vac truck, the old vac truck?
no, we still have it.
Can we get rid of the old vac truck?
We can. I did ask, or I was approached by Public Works that it has the ability to hold about 300 gallons of water to transport. So for example, and it flushes it out very easily. So one of the things they want to try this year, so we're not spending money on a sweeper, or having to rent a sweeper, is they basically want to go at the top of the hill, flush down the gravel, and then use the vac tub truck after it accumulates to suck it up.
That'll work. Vacuum it.
So it'll be less dusty. I mean, last time they came through here with a sweeper, it looked like a huge dust cloud through the middle of town. So I thought that was ingenious to just, so it's stuff like that. Other times where they have to flush, like, flush through the sewer lines or whatever, they do that too.
Yeah.
By the way, they did do I think 55 feet of sewer line up on Fifth. It'd been an inherent continual problem, and they ran the scope down it, and they got 20 feet, and they just hit a block. They pulled it up, and it was just absolutely filled with
Roots.
roots. I mean, it's a miracle it was even working at all. So, so that's been fixed. Fortunately, it was that much. That's one of those streets where that whole sewer system and everything is gonna be moved and fixed before we get it paved properly.
That's the only place in town that we know where we've had standing sewage, right?
Yeah, we've basically been putting out fires when they come in. It's on my list. I've been working up a kind of a city maintenance list, and this is in response to what we're supposed to be doing anyway. We will be putting the entire city on a schedule to have the camera go down every sewer line. We're supposed to have that done. Every sewer line is supposed to be inspected every 10 years, and I guarantee you it's probably never been done. So, and when they did it, they put in proper cleanouts so that that line will be able to be addressed. So, anyway.
And then the last thing is just car show's coming up, so fire truck.
Good idea.
If you can be the mayor that actually gets rid of the fire truck, you win the golden ring.
And has Jill been have she applied for
I
the
don't, I
closing?
have not heard a peep. The only thing I know that it's even happening is I see Facebook posts. And okay, so I will be rather blunt at this point. The city cannot sign off on an event, any event, unless the proper signage is addressed. So if an event is gonna happen until we have the proper signage and available and a proper plan or whatever, you can put anything on paper, but I'm not gonna sign off on anything if we don't know that the proper signage is.
And present it to
there.
the council as well.
Well,
request.
that's part of our coming up with an event plan for everyone to agree on, because right now the city has none. It's just, it's been done by just legacy knowledge, which is fine. I just think in all fairness to everybody, it needs to be written down and everyone needs to use the same playbook on how an event happens in the city. But regardless, I can't put the city at risk of saying, yes, we sign off, we're gonna have all this signage there, and then when it's not there and somebody gets hurt, the city's gonna be liable for it, and that's not okay.
But one thing that I would ask, and this is relative to what happened with the Trouble Bridge over water situation, please involve us so that our butts can be on the line as well as yours, because I don't, especially with those parties, I don't care for a situation where we have citizens in here that are attacking you. And so one of the ways that we can do that is if you say, look, this is the situation, take it to us, and then we can say, yes, we agree, that's not, you might have the authority to do it by yourself, but we've had situations where we don't know what you're doing, so we can't back you up, and I want to be able to back you up on that.
Which is why I'm bringing it up. And it could be fall festival. I mean.
Yeah, no, I know.
Yeah.
And until we have a firm plan drawn up, I don't know.
Well, we had kind of a half.
Yeah,
drawn
we
up.
just wanted, the goal was that Mr. Weggie is helping us with is the proper signage at the proper locations, get that inventory, and then be able to, in a sense, put that out to bid. What do we have? What don't we have? Because there are companies out there that will lease it to us.
Yeah.
Or not, I don't think the city should pay for it, to be honest.
No, that's
Right.
passed on to the event holder.
So, but when somebody says, hey, I want to have an event and I want to shut down the streets, we can say, great, contact these people, this is what you need to budget for.
Yeah.
That's at least what I have in my head.
We need to work with, that will be the first event. And I think we need to talk to them, because I don't know if we're gonna have this in place by the time that thing comes through.
More than likely not.
I think it would behoove us to be proactive on this with them. I don't want to go through that stuff again.
I will be straight up, for the past 2 years, I've been proactive with this. I've put out emails and notes and, hey, where are we at with this, where are we at with this? And even last year, what was 3 days before the event, when they finally got it approval from the state?
I understand that, and I'm not doubting you a bit. I'm just asking you to be proactive again. And if I see Mr. Gossett, I will bring that up to him. I think you might get further with him. Just saying.
Well, they brought this up a little bit, and, you know, the word's out that we're planning on doing this. And what she said to me was, do you have your plan in place? I said, no, we are working on it. Well, we'll work on our own until we have yours. So we need to talk to them ahead of time, not just come up, 4 days before, so you don't have a plan, you don't have a thing.
Yeah.
We need to talk to them and find out what we can do to make it work, because it's a big deal for the city.
That's huge. It's absolutely huge.
It's probably the biggest event we have now.
Well, I've talked to all the business owners, that's their Black Friday.
Yeah.
In some ways bigger.
But I would hate to see them, get us backed into a corner a week before, and we have not had any conversation with them.
Agree.
And time goes by fast.
Yeah, we're not,
You think
we're
now-
2 months out.
Yeah, exactly. And I keep getting, they want me to donate to it. Sorry.
Let's get a plan together. I'll go sit down with her and talk.
Okay.
I think it should come to council.
Yeah. And I'll hey, come into council.
Well, yeah, and
I'll invite her.
if the council wants to, when we come up with a plan, the council has to give their blessing on events in the city. I'm okay with that.
But then if you don't wait till the next council meeting,
No, it'd have to be, that would be one of the things, plans
You know,
have to be
none
done.
of my business,
So
but-
far in advance.
Yeah.
So that all the pieces can be put into place.
Yeah.
So,
You're right.
okay.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
There's one.
Motion to adjourn.
Well, thank you guys for listening to
Well,
us.
thank you for coming
Say
tonight.
aye.
Thanks for staying.
Just wanted to see what you do after
get lonely here.
30 years of fire district meetings. I wanted to see what you guys do. You do a good job.
Thank you.
Your hands
you.
are tied on a lot of things. But we had our say. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you.
Yep. You can come next month too, if you
How
want
come
to.
we don't get a notice in the paper? They put in Reardon and they put in Davenport City Council meetings, and none of ours ever goes, and the gal lives here in town.
Don't know. She's not in town right now.
No, I know, I read that. in the-
Name reporting what took place.
Yeah.
She's been here.
She's deployed
Now
now.
she's in the National Guard. so
Right.
She's out, but Kelly
got deployed
did call.
As far as the variances and stuff, this is what, you know, how she dealt,
They're
well,
gonna send somebody.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Because I
but
think it's-
maybe we should entertain a conditional use permit, because
Okay,
there's
guys.
stuff with the variance, that train